Here's what's wrong with Karate Kid, Star Wars, and also Cobra Kai.
Where them kicks at? Where them hands? Where them holes? Where them throws? You know what I'm saying? Cecil.
Now, before I tell you what's wrong, let me say this. If anybody from the Karate Kid franchises or Star Wars franchises is watching this video, don't change. Don't change based on what I'm about to tell you. Because it's our job as martial arts instructors to bring this reality up. It's your job as people who make movies to entertain people. And I think if you change this formula and tell the truth about and reveal the truth about what I'm going to say and try to put that into your movies, you might lose money. But this is just for the people who have seen one too many Karate Kid movies, Cobra Kai, web series movies, or seen too much Star Wars, and think that they're going to come into a school and do what I'm about to say. And what I'm about to say is those movies make you think that you can fight as well as a black belt in 2 months. First, shout out to my pastor who actually came up with this idea and pointed it out, but he probably didn't think I was going to put it in a video. But he was saying that about Star Wars when it came out, and it's the truth. Star Wars makes you think that Luke Skywalker can come from barely knowing what the Force is to within a few months, he's almost fighting as well as Yoda, and he's going to go take on Darth Vader. And oh my goodness, he cut off my hand. Well, no kid, he cut off your hand. You're lucky he didn't cut your head off. How are you going to learn to be as good as somebody who's been doing this stuff for decades inside of a few months? Karate Kid is just as bad because really Karate Kid is pretty much just Star Wars without the robots and without the Jedi. It's still the same thing of some student learns what he needs from a teacher, and inside of like a month or two, maybe, he's going to go from being probably green belt level at best, and that's being really, really generous, to being able to compete with physically fit black belts in their prime. The most realistic Karate Kid movie in terms of training, in my opinion, was the next Karate Kid. Because at least in the next Karate Kid, what is her name? I cannot believe I can't remember this. Hilary Swank. When Hilary Swank was training, she already knew karate. She'd learned some karate from her grandfather, who I believe Miyagi also taught. So she already had some good training, and she was already near a black belt level. So then Miyagi just comes and does some upgrading and some training, and she's able to take on a bully. That I actually can believe. And it doesn't happen within a month. It looks like it actually takes place over a few months, maybe even almost the entire school year, where she's able to train with Miyagi and learn how to defend herself against a bully. That I believe could happen. But anything else? I mean, like even in the Cobra Kai series, which I like, by the way. Again, I said, please don't change this. Don't change what you're doing. Okay? Don't change what you're doing, Hollywood people, because you know the impatient mind of Americans, the American youth especially. The kid who comes in and trains with Johnny, who's is really, you can tell he's a Daniel knockoff. He's like a reincarnation of Daniel LaRusso, but he's going to train in Cobra Kai. He has no training. He comes in there and he wins a tournament at the black belt level against competitors who probably are the type of people that like live on the circuit. And he comes and he beats them because I guess Johnny was just that good of a coach that he's going to tell somebody with no training how to compete at the black belt level in less than a school year. Am I really supposed to believe this? You know what? I am supposed to believe this if I don't know anything about the martial arts. So it did dawn on me too that before the pastor said that some people have been watching too much Karate Kid, because when they come in and they go, how long is it going to take me to get a black belt? I'm like, that's up to you. You think I could get it in 6 months? No, probably not. A year? You'd have to be doing this stuff every day and give up your life to get to a black belt level in a year. And I don't have that kind of time to train you like that. What? And then they get frustrated, get mad. They get frustrated with themselves too when they're not, doing a crane technique inside of 6 months. I'm telling you, man, Martial arts skills are tough to acquire, they're tough to learn, but they are attainable. I've seen people who can do gymnastics. I've seen people who can do gymnastics and they can't do jump kicks. And it amazes me because I'm like, I will never be able to do those level of gymnastics in my life, especially if I try to do it at this age. It's like when I finally was able to do a cartwheel and stuff, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. They have trouble doing a jump kick. They have trouble doing a forward roll, but they can do gymnastics because it's two different skill sets. Now, of course, the best martial artists are probably the ones who can do gymnastics and, and the floor skill and the martial arts skills. But you know what I'm saying. It's two different skill sets. So, you fans, I know you're going to flame me. I know you're going to go off. And that's fine. But please remember, these movies are just movies that we like. Don't go to anybody's class thinking that you're going to go in there with no training at all or very little training and inside of like 1 or 2 months be able to win a tournament fighting at the black belt level. The only way that would happen is if you already had a black belt from someone else and you just switched schools and just had to learn how to do what you already know in the format of the new style or school that you're attending. That's the only way somebody comes in there from a white belt, gets the black belt that fast, and beats another black belt that's a competitor. They have serious prior training. That means they already were almost a black belt or pretty much a black belt. Not from scratch, man. Not from scratch. And you know what? If you know a exception, put it in the comments below. Instead of all the, hateful, insulting, shaming, racist flames that I know I'm probably going to get because I dared to criticize these two major religions, Karate Kid and Star Wars, which I am a fan of, by the way. Don't get me wrong. But even I, as a fan, have to separate being a fan from living in fantasy. So, thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this with people who like to talk about the martial arts and Star Wars. And peace.